Hey guys, continuing Iamblichus' Exhortation to Philosophy, text chapter 14. In this chapter, Iamblichus compares philosophers to ordinary people quite a lot. I guess that's kind of the essence of this chapter. He does it from different angles. So in this part of the chapter, he compares a philosopher to an ordinary man. And he says, an ordinary man with practical and necessary things of the physical nature, what to do, with whom to do it, where to go, and so forth. The ordinary man is very well adapted. He's compared to a philosopher, he's an expert at that. A philosopher is very bad at practical things. And we've seen in the previous videos why and how that is the case. Philosopher's mind is constantly on celestial things and the higher causalities and so forth. It is not on practical, mundane things. So naturally, a philosopher is bad at these things. But when things come to justice, what is just, what is right, what is good, ordinary man completely fails and he starts to contradict himself. And it's very easy to see this. If you've studied philosophy and if you've studied dialectic dialectic reasoning, and practiced it, you can talk to an ordinary man for a couple of minutes and immediately you will see they're contradicting themselves, which means they don't understand what they're talking about. But a philosopher who studied those things and who is living a philosophical life will know very well what justice is, or at least they'll be able to talk about these things with wisdom. And because of that, this person will experience, because they I don't want to say they know what justice is, because we kind of don't really know definitely anything, but because of a lot of reasoning on this subject and a lot of dissection of this subject, a lot of contemplations on it, they live in a life that is more filled with justice. It is more orderly, and we remember that justice is order from the previous chapters. Justice is order according to good. An order is good, essentially. So because of this, the philosopher's life has more happiness and more good. More happiness because it is more orderly. It's ordered according to justice. It's not chaotic. And good because the person tries to live according to justice. They're true to themselves, they're true to others, or they try to be, and so forth. An ordinary person, by diverging all their energy towards practical things, by not studying philosophy, they miss out on the understanding of what is justice. And because of this, anything else can happen. And often we see that what happens is a miserable and unhappy life. Even if the ordinary man is excellent at practical things and has many possessions and necessities, they still might be miserable in life. We see plenty of examples of this. Worse off, they might be evil. They might be doing things which hurt themselves and others. And we see plenty of examples of this. Even though they are excellent at practical things. Because of why? What is missing? Justice is missing. Understanding what justice is. A philosophical life is missing. So they hurt the others and themselves. And they are unhappy. Naturally, because of that. So Iamblichus says, often ordinary humans, by compared to philosophers, are like slaves. Their thinking are those of slaves. And as I understand it, he means they're slaves to their own desires and ambitions, which keep them prisoners on many different levels, compared to a philosopher who, by developing self-control, this is my understanding, by developing self-control and contemplating higher things, studying philosophy, making their life virtuous, have freed themselves from the bonds and the chains of the desires and ambitions of the body. And because they free themselves from that, they're able to experience much higher things. And we've seen in the previous chapters, step-by-step approach, how Iamblichus describes how this takes place. Just in the last chapter, in the 13th chapter, we talked a lot about soul versus the body, how Iamblichus talks about the importance of self-control to free the soul from the bonds of the body. And in the previous chapters, we talked about how Iamblichus compares the body to a tomb to which the soul is bound, and as a result suffers and is confused as to what is going on in this reality, because this reality, as Iamblichus says, is alien to the soul, this physical reality. So this is a nice little chapter, a little paragraph. I have a couple of more videos on this chapter. Yeah. That's it. Let's do a mini meditation now. You can do any meditation or prayer you want. I'll do my own. And just relax and absorb the energy of the meditation. And that, coupled with this, will absorb this deeper into our minds. Thank you for your time, guys. Click on the video now if it will appear, and continue watching this channel, please.